Hello and welcome. If you're new here, that's great because I'm new here too. Brand new on YouTube, and I don't know how to edit. There's a lot of things I don't know how to do, but I'm making a stab at it. So please bear with me, and we'll get through this. And I've got some great hacks to talk to you about with glaucoma. Um, so let's begin. Well, let me introduce myself. My name's Marcia, and I live on a farm in the southern Oregon coast. And I've been here about 30, well, I was born here, but I came back here about 30 years ago. And now we grow flowers and microgreens and no animals except for our pet dogs. But yeah, we have a little community up here. And luckily for me, I have people that are around that help me out. So I'm getting a little up there in age now to handle everything by myself. So my daughter and my granddaughter and my other daughter in New Mexico, she helps me as well, and I somehow am making it. So that's good on that part. So today, let's talk about these 5 simple hacks. And the last one I haven't talked about on any of my videos so far, and it's really, really important. So stay tuned for that. The first one I've talked about before is water, the importance of water and clean water. We get those water in those little plastic bottle things, and they're just full of microplastics. And so those microplastics not only go in our body, but they lodge in our eye and our brain. And so glaucoma is like on a rampage. I mean, many, many people are getting it. And also dementia and uh, what's that called? Alzheimer's is on the rise too. So, I mean, it's not funny. What they're doing to our water is horrible. So we need to have a way that will take the fluoride as well out of our drinking water and make sure we have clean water. That's a good starting spot, is that, because they have found when they do that roto-rooter thing on your eye to get the eye pressure down, can't remember what they call it, but they found that there's like sticky protein and microplastics. So the more we can get that out and purge that out, because we're bombarded all day, all the time. Apple pectin is a good thing to take. It helps your body to release some of that toxins that we take in. So the microplastics we don't want to do. And that causes stress on us as well. So the products I use are clearly filtered. It takes out fluoride as well as all the chemicals and everything. And it's a pitcher, kind of like a Brita, only it's a little bit better. And I've linked it down in the description. So if you want to try one, it's real easy. You just put your water in it and it gravity flows. It is in a thicker medical grade type plastic, but it doesn't leach into the water. But what I do to be safe is once I've filtered it through, then I pour it into a glass container. And so then it sits in the glass container. It never sits in the plastic. And another option that's even better, well, it's good, is a stainless steel called a Berkey. And it's a 2-part system. And you get these special black filters that will filter out the fluoride. And you pour it in the top, and it's a gravity flow too. And it works really good. I've used Berkey's for years. And so that helps too. So that's the first thing, is the water. We want to make sure we have good drinking water. Also, you can get the portable uh, through clearly filtered, these portable ones where you pour the water in and you put the lid on, and it's a straw, and you drink through the straw and it filters it. So like if you're at a restaurant or you're out somewhere and you want water, you have your portable filter with you, and that works really well too. Berkey also has a portable one as well. If you're wondering, I don't have a cold. I'm not sick. I had a surgery, and for years, well, about a year and a half, I didn't have a voice because of a surgery I had. So they put an implant in for my paralyzed vocal cord, so the healthy one would have something to vibrate off of. So I came out with this kind of a gravelly voice, but I'm not sick. It just sounds like I am. So bear with me on that. Now, the second hack is movement. So we want to get out and walk. I have a dog and he got injured recently. And so I have a four-wheeler, and usually I take him on my four-wheeler and around, but he couldn't run anymore. So I had to start walking him, and I found out that I really liked it. So we do 3 or 4 walks every day and make it a habit. And that's, has worked out really well for me and for him too. I still take him on the four-wheeler now that he's all healed. But the walking is really, really important, not only for, our eye health, but for our overall health, which, it's all tied in. We don't want to save our eyesight and lose our mind, through dementia or something. We want to keep ourselves as healthy as possible, and that will support our eye health. Now, another neat thing I have it set up on my porch, is what they call a rebounder. And it's like a small trampoline, and you get on it, and I have a place where I can kind of hang on to the corner of the wall. And so I get on it, and you just do what they call a health bounce. You don't have to get crazy and jumping all around. You just do this health bounce, and that clears up your lymphatic systems and helps things start flowing and flushing out. Our lymphatic is like the sewer system. It just, it doesn't have a pump, not like the veins do, with a pump coming up, the heart pumping the blood. The lymphatic has to have movement for it to move out. So rebounding, that's another good thing. And I linked, I researched this, and with ChatGPT, he helped me. And so we've got some links down there for you to check out, see if you want one, or maybe get one off Facebook or Marketplace or something like that. The hack number 3, rest and sleep. And so sleep is when we heal. And so if we're not getting good sleep, we're not healing right. We got to get, and some people are chronically not sleeping well. You think you might be sleeping, or if you're taking a sleeping aid, sometimes it doesn't put you in that REM sleep, that you need to be in. It will knock you out, but it doesn't mean that you're in the healing mode. So you might want to check out more and maybe talk to your doctor more about how to get good sleep. And, that will support your long-term well-being too, is to get good rest. And rest, a lot of us are getting old. Some are young that have glaucoma, and they're already doing all this stuff. But us older folks, sometimes we're not used to doing taking good care of ourselves. We've worked hard all our lives, and just not taking a rest. So it's time for us to rest, take care of ourselves, put more energy into how we're taking care of ourselves. Hack number 4. Simple whole foods. So this is really, really important, is no processed foods. And, that means even like pastas. If you look on, no enriched, if it says enriched on it, on your breads or your pastas or anything like that, don't eat them. Don't eat anything that says enriched on them. And we want single ingredient. So broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, peas, excuse me, different things like that, whole foods, whole fresh foods. A lot of leafy greens really support the eye, especially. is the leafy greens and, of course, our overall health. So just remember that. If you have to read the ingredients, it's probably not, you probably just put it back on the shelf. So they say if you take a trip around the outside, we've all heard this, the outside of the grocery, but there are some things on the inside I like olives. Olives are good, and pickles and sauerkraut, different things there are on the inside, but we're mostly on the perimeter, is where you're going to find a lot of the unprocessed food as long as you stay out of the bakery. That's been I love the bakery. But I found that if you get, what's the name of that? Ezekiel, and you get the one in the orange bag, it tastes pretty good, and it's made from ancient grains. So it's doesn't have a lot of, the enriched stuff or anything. And sometimes you can get, what do they call it? Sourdough bread that's not enriched. If you can find that, that's not as worse either, for you. So now the last hack that I said is going to be the best one is our oral health. I mean, you wouldn't even think about this. Think about your toothbrush. What's on that toothbrush? Plastic. And we're brushing our teeth with plastic. So I had a electric toothbrush, and I looked at it, plastic. So you can get a natural fiber toothbrush, which is bamboo, and use that instead of putting plastic in our mouth. And, sometimes you go for a long time using your toothbrush without replacing it, and that plastic wears down and you're swallowing it, and, it's pretty bad. So think about your toothbrush and what you're putting, because our digestion starts in our mouth, and it starts, breaking it down with our saliva, and whatever we put in our mouth affects our microbiome. Our microbiome, in turn, talks to our brain. So, getting a dry throat. So we want to make sure of the toothbrush, that situation, and also what you're using. If you look on your toothpaste, usually there's a warning saying that if you don't swallow this because it's poison, you want to get rid of that. And I've linked some in the description where you can get off Amazon. You can get a toothbrush and toothpaste, tooth powder. You can even make it at home. You use baking soda and I think hydrogen peroxide and a little bit of coconut oil, and you can brush with that. And that's a clean way to do it. And it'll keep bacteria, at bay, and it won't just kill everything that you need your saliva needs. So, yeah, it will help you feel fresher and healthier every day too. So we've got, and mouthwashes are really bad too. You don't want to use like Listerine or any of those harsh mouthwashes. Oh, and another thing is the dental floss. A lot of the dental floss is plastic. So we want to make sure we get some hemp or some other kind of cotton or something that's not plastic. So think about what you're putting in your mouth. When I was a kid, we went to the dentist. They put mercury in our mouth. And even as a kid, I thought, well, mercury's poison. What are you putting that in my mouth for? As a kid, you have no control. But now we have control. We can get those taken out if they haven't already fallen out, like mine. But yeah, so, it's not over until it's over. So we still have a fighting chance to save our eyesight, save our brain, because like I said, we don't want to save our eyesight and lose our mind, or lose our mind and go blind both. That would be terrible. So we want to your overall health. You know, if you're failing, if your legs are hurting, if your back is hurting, if all these things are falling apart, time to think about, okay, let's make a few little changes. Let's get some clean water. Let's get some gentle movement going. Let's do some easy things, because the more you move, the better you're going to sleep at night. And then our oral health. So when you're doing your eye drops in the morning, maybe, think about, what have I been doing all these years with my oral health? So that's all I have to talk about today. And I hope my little journey here is giving you some insight on how maybe you can make little changes. And as always, subscribe if you feel like it to support my little effort here. And thank you for bearing with me through this. So, as always, be kind to yourself and be kind to others. See you next time.